Morning, Satideh Morning runnings. Welcome everyone to another feature of Satideh Morning Runnings. I am Lady D Denise Gomez, a Saturday morning, bright and early. But guess what? I'm taking you back to the good old days of the Fowl Coop, the chicken coop. Yes. I remember as a child journeying to Penance in Clarendon. Everybody know I talk about Penance. And it was nighttime. So I walked into this house. My sister and we were introduced and the whole shebang. And then I was 7 years old and I was hearing a sound out in the back. But because it's dark, I had no clue what it was. The next morning, I remember waking up and still hearing that sound. So I went out on the back porch and then I looked and saw this structure. Again, I don't know what it was, but I heard a sound. So I walked toward that structure, a huge looking thing. And inside of it, guess what, Missy? A whole heap of white fowl chickens. Thousands of chickens in this structure. A huge fowl coop filled with white fowl. My goodness. And I was saying, look how many chickens. I never see so many chickens at one time. So, as the days progressed, we got into the hang of things. I was 7, my sister was 4. And we all started to learn about feeding the chickens. We got our little containers. We knew about how to pour in the feed. You know which feed me talking about though. Purina Chow. Remember those big, very sturdy, thick brown bags with the lettering Purina Chow on it? Yes, we remember those. And we would stack them into a storage area right next to that big chicken coop. And I remember we would get up early, doing our chores and go and feed the chickens. We were taught how to layer out the bottles for them to drink their water. And in it you would pour. I didn't know what it was at the time. All I know it looked like coloring. You had green, yellow, orange colored powder that we poured into the water. We were told is medicine. I don't know if that what it was, but we call it medicine at the time. And so we would pour them in the bottles and line them all the way down to the end of the coop. And I'm talking about a very large thing, because we lived on the what we call front road, and then you had back road. So it extended all the way down to the back of the property, and then you had a short walk in through the orange grove behind there to get to back road. But while we were on what I learned at the time was called the Thomas Farm. Thomas Farm. And so we raised the chickens there. And the company at the time was in Kingston along Wynwood Road. So we did the rearing of the chickens, nurtured them and everything, man. And then the trucks would come and put them in these crates and take them off to City Kingston, where I was born and raised up to age 7. But in addition to that, there were people who never had that kind of a setup, right? So they had what we call, and we love them dearly, there's something about their taste, common fowl. Some little ones, big ones, colorful chickens who would just be lazing around in people's yard and something. And when it's time for them to get their feeding, which was not usually in a pan like ours, which was attached to the roof and hanging down. No, sir. The owners, the mothers, the fathers, the picnics in the house would come out in their yard, and you know what they would say, right? Tell me what you think me coming up with. Yes, Coop, 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 coop. And you see them a run from east, west, north, and south coming because they knew the call. And man, when you see they gather up, man, and then everybody just start throw out, you see them a throw out corn. And if it's little purina too, they might get some, if you have it. And you throw out your little scraps for them to eat, and everybody pecking, and doing them thing. But meat sweeter, there was something about common fowl, no matter what they were eating. After you prepare one for dinner, because you look at that one and you say, you see me, I feed you today, but tomorrow you're for my dinner. Yes, man. And then they would feed them and fatten them up. So were we fattening up the white ones, right? To send back to City Kingston. So life in Penance, Clarendon was, again, I always say, awesome. And big up to all the people from country who used to make that call. Coop, 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 coop. And feed up your chicken them. Taking you back to the good old days of Penance. Where are you from? Drop a note, subscribe, like Inside of the Zone with Lady D, Denise Gomez. Let me hear your story, man. Until next time. Medea, Medea, Medea.